You've been told that awareness is the goal. Well, it's not. Awareness is just the doorway, and most people never step through it. Hi, I'm Marina Papa, founder of the AP Method, and if you're ready to do life, love, and success in a way that actually gets you results, then this video and this channel is for you. And before we dive right in, I want to ask you a small favor. Download your free core values workbook using the link in the description, because your values are the foundations of your transformation. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me help more people by getting this content out there, and your comment could be the very thing that helps someone else today on their journey. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Self-awareness does not automatically change your life. You can know you procrastinate and still procrastinate. You can know you overthink and still spiral at 3 a.m. You can know your childhood patterns are sabotaging your relationships and still keep them repeating. Now, awareness without action is like buying a plane ticket and never getting on the flight. You can wave the ticket around, tell everybody where you're going, but you never actually go. And this is where so many people get stuck. That aha moment feels so big that they mistake it for the actual transformation itself. They read a book, have a realization, maybe even cry with relief, but 2 weeks later, they're back in the same loops. Now, why is that? Because awareness opens the door, but walking through requires something completely different: repetition, practice, and embodiment. And psychology tells us that insight lives in the conscious mind, but habits and patterns are stored in the subconscious. 95% of your daily behavior is automatic. It's run by old wiring, what you've practiced, not what you've read. That's why you can be aware of your patterns, but still feel powerless against them. And neuroscience backs this up. Awareness activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for reasoning and reflection. But behavior change lives in the basal ganglia, where habits are stored, and the limbic system, where emotions drive action. Awareness lights up one part of the brain, but unless you activate the others through repetition and emotional practice, nothing changes. And here's where it gets really interesting. The brain is a prediction machine. Every millisecond, it predicts what's about to happen and conserves energy by defaulting to familiar patterns. Even when you have a new insight, your brain still prefers the old loop because it feels safer. This is why change always feels uncomfortable. It's not because the new thing is wrong, it's because your brain is trying to save calories by sticking to the known. That's why you can have the thought, I should respond differently, but in the heat of the moment, the amygdala hijacks the prefrontal cortex. Stress floods your system and your body defaults to the old pattern: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Awareness without practice crumbles under the stress. It's too fragile. Now think of awareness like a flashlight in a dark cave. It shows you what's there, the stalagmites, the uneven ground, the dangerous drop, but the flashlight doesn't move your feet. And walking in the dark requires practice, courage, and the willingness to stumble. And I'm going to pause right here. If this resonates, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future ones. You can also download your free core values workbook right now. The link is in the description. It'll be in your inbox within seconds. And if you're ready to go further, join the Freedom Challenge. It's a free 5-day experience where we practice these exact tools together. The link is in the description, and I would love to have you inside there. So, how do you actually walk through the doorway of awareness? Now, let's talk about 3 powerful tools to do this. The first one is immediate action. When you notice a pattern, do something, anything different in the moment. Don't wait to feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Your nervous system learns through interruption. If you always avoid difficult conversations and today you manage to say one sentence of truth, you've already stepped through the doorway. Journaling prompt for you: where in your life have you had awareness for months, maybe even years, but not acted? What single tiny step then would count as breaking the pattern today? And a bonus: what's the worst case scenario you're imagining, and how likely is it really? And the second bonus: if you took that action every day for a year or even for a week, how different would your life look? The second tool is accountability. Now, awareness is private, but embodiment is public. When you tell someone your intention, join a group challenge, or practice in front of another human being, you shift from I know to I live. Now, this matters because your brain hates social rejection. If you've declared a goal, your nervous system feels pressure to align with it. So here's a journaling prompt. Who could hold you accountable in a supportive, non-shaming way? What action would you feel brave enough to declare publicly? And bonus for you, what community could you join that would normalize your new behavior? The second bonus is, how would you feel if your friends started saying, wow, you've really changed? Now, the third tool is ritualized repetition. Habits form not because of motivation, but because of association. Tie a new behavior to an existing routine. Gratitude before brushing your teeth, deep breaths before checking your phone, journaling before opening your laptop. These micro rituals build grooves in the brain. Over time, the doorway becomes a bridge, and the new behavior becomes automatic. Now, here's a journaling prompt. What small habit could you link to a daily ritual? And a bonus here, visualize yourself 3 months from now having done it daily. How does your life feel now? And the second bonus is, who in your life would notice the change first, and what might they say? Now, let's go deeper and add a neuroscience layer. When you repeat a new action, you trigger long-term potentiation, the strengthening of synapses between neurons. This is literally your brain rewiring itself. At first, the new pathway is weak, like a faint pencil line. But every repetition darkens the line until it becomes the bold stroke your brain defaults to. This is why repetition is non-negotiable. Awareness draws the line, action thickens it. And here's something else. Awareness without embodiment can actually make you worse. Studies show that people who repeatedly reflect on their flaws without changing behavior experience more anxiety and depression. Why is this? Well, because awareness raises expectations, but without action, you constantly disappoint yourself. You live in a loop of I know better, but I don't do better. That gap breeds shame. I've seen this and I've lived this myself. I used to be someone that could analyze a lot of things like my childhood, attachment styles, limiting beliefs, but when conflict arose or when something didn't go to plan, I crumbled into the same old patterns. Awareness became an identity. I'm so self-aware, but not in transformation. And until I started to act, I kind of remained stuck. And here's what you'll notice as you start to grow. At first, awareness feels intoxicating. You'll want to share every insight. You get so excited. You'll want to explain your patterns to anyone and everyone who'll listen. It's so cool. But as you mature in your healing, you realize that awareness is just step one. You'll start craving embodiment, the quiet satisfaction of actually living differently. And that shift is where transformation becomes lasting. And I'm going to pause again here. If this message resonates, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And download your free Core Values Workbook. It will give you the compass you need to keep moving forward. And join the Freedom Challenge if you're ready to practice walking through this doorway with me. 5 days, completely free. It will change the way you show up. Now, let's expand the tools with deeper journaling. For immediate action, what micro behavior could you try this week that scares you just enough to prove you're growing? For accountability, who could you send a weekly check-in to? What would you write in that message? And for repetition, which current habit could you pair a new one with? And what reminder could you set so you don't forget? These are the questions that take awareness out of your head and anchor it into your nervous system. And here's the really beautiful part. Once you step through this doorway, you'll never mistake standing outside for being inside again. You'll know the difference in your bones. You'll feel it in your body. And that embodied knowing will become your compass for every future transformation. And just remember, you are not here to admire the entrance of transformation. You are here to boldly walk through it. You're here to step into lasting transformation. Thank you so much for being here, for watching and listening, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye for now.